offshore powerboats assemble in anti-clockwise fashion on the world's finest stage. And of course, as unpredictable as they come, the calmer waters of the Sound itself merely tempting bait for the comparative cauldron beyond the breakwater. 9 make the starting lineup, led by Spirit of Norway, winners of both Grand Prix so far, and throttled by Britain's favourite powerboat son, Steve Curtis. A race the legendary Dubai Victory team must win to keep in touch with the high-flying Australians and Italians and the soaring Spirit. On board with the Australians. On the countdown to the green flag. Always an adrenaline-soaked moment. And there's a break there from the centre of the pack. It looks like Italian Highlander. There's the green flag. Power on. And Spirit of Norway unleashes 2,000 horsepower. But it's Highlander who have jumped the gun. A massive advantage, and one for which they must surely pay. The start line rules dictate no one will have an unfair advantage. Riding with Jotun, Jan Hilstad, Norway, Bernard Bellman, Germany. Highlander away on the left, Spirit of Norway edging out, Victory 7 and 77. And goodness me, a moment of madness there for Spirit of Norway as seen from the cockpit of Victory 77. Into the bumpier waters away from the shelter of the breakwater. Highlander in front. Rough ride promised, rough ride delivered. Turn 1, Victory 7, near side, Spirit of Norway, number 10, far side. Second place, the contest, 150 kilometers an hour, the speed. Ali Akamar and Ahmed Al-Tayr inching ahead. And nothing easy about this. Spirit of Norway already the recipient of an early warning on the start straight. Flying there on the edge all the way. Gibalato astern, observed with interest I'm sure. Sheikh Hassan, Class 1 debut in a bit of a tussle here with Roskioli Hotels, number 8, for 8th place that is. Mark 2, Breakwater West, Highlander first, Victory 7 with nowhere to go, into the rooster tail, forcing Ali Akamar off the throttles. Spirit of Norway tightens it up with Maritimo, you saw there, skipping across their wash into 4th place. The turn for home, it's 4 in a row for the sprint back to Drake's Island and the end of lap 1. Riding with Victory 77. Speed just touching 200 kilometers an hour. Spirit of Norway on their right. Bjorn Yelston, Norway with the driving wheel. Steve Curtis, Great Britain, on throttles. Cutting across the chicane, Highlander blocking the direct approach by Victory 7. Riding here with Peter McGrath and Bill Barry Cotter, Australia, pushing Maritimo onto the inside of Victory 77 for the long raking right-hand turn at the end of lap 1. Highlander there first, but not without cost. Eduardo Poli and Lamberto Leone have been penalised 1 lap for their preposterous breakout at the start. Looking back now, though, at the other angle when Spirit of Norway almost paid the ultimate price. As close as you'll ever want to go with a 5-ton racing machine at 180 kilometers an hour. Memories of Germany 2 years ago flooding back in that cockpit, I'm sure. They survived, though, and technically in 2nd place. On board Victory 77, Maritimo moving through on their right, into the wash and across the drenching rooster tail of the Norwegians to take up 4th place. No shrinking violets, these Aussies. Not the best of starts for them on this occasion, but making up for it now on the drag race to Breakwater West for the 2nd time. Straightforward enough when looking down from the comfort of our helicopter. Far different from the confines of the tiny cockpit. 20 of the scheduled 190 kilometers completed already. And that, in spite of speeds some 80 kilometers an hour below maximum. Significant maybe, the two heaviest and longest boats lead the way on this course of diversifying surface, albeit one with a lap penalty. The lighter and livelier Spirit of Norway, Maritimo and Jotun, with vastly greater work rates. Still though, very much in touch, less than 9 seconds separating 5th place from Highlander at the front. Fastest section once more, the run back to Drake's Island at almost 205 kilometers an hour this time. And a good deal more interesting. Aliar Kamar picking up the pace here with Highlander running a little tight on his racing line. Past the yellow chicane marker at Drake's. The Dubai team are outmanoeuvring the Italians comprehensively. Long right-hander coming up. And Highlander on the inside have missed the mark completely. A remarkable error, and again costly. They will claim, I'm sure, the originally laid mark was not in place. Even so, the race commissioners look harshly at such occurrences, and the Italians may well pay another penalty. And here goes Spirit of Norway. Josten and Curtis needing to get quickly past the erratic Italians to stay on the trail of Victory 7, throwing everything at this. Just under 200 kilometers an hour again, on the same part of the course where they could have disintegrated 10 minutes ago. It's close on, outrageous, but the goal achieved, and their intention to still try and win this race is clearly stated. Fastest boat on lap 2, incidentally, was Jotun, averaging 160.73 kilometers an hour. This is lap 3. The smooth riding Victory 7 that won the championship, I think, in the year 2000 when piloted by Halfdan Hureb, leads the newer, faster, lightweight hybrid of Norway by almost 7 seconds. The sea can be a wonderful leveller. On board, Maritimo, another lightweight, Peter McGrath at full stretch on the steering wheel, reeling in the Italian Highlander. And Polly, who might have hoped for glory in these conditions, could soon find things going from bad to worse, and Gibolato limps off the track. Montevocchi and Esperto, the first casualties, heading back to the pits. Returning to Maritimo, the Australians here battling into position on the outside of Highlander. Breakwater west, the 90-degree turn to the north, coming up, and yes indeed, well, they had to work hard for that one, but that is magnificently done. And now into 3rd place. Victory 77 also lining up to follow through. And Highlander will find themselves in 5th place when this lap is completed. Average speed, incidentally, for Highlander last lap, 153.86 kilometers an hour. Victory 77, 164.40. Maritimo, 165.15. Same as Spirit of Norway, with Victory 7 well clear on 169.82. Riding with Jotun, 6th place for them, and 6.15 kilometers an hour, now quicker than Highlander. So expect fireworks there soon as well. Damas 96, Sheikh Hassan and Matteo Nicolini, 141.19 kilometers an hour, their best effort so far. First Grand Prix, remember, just keeping it tidy in 7th. Ahead of Nicolo Giorgi and Aurelio Borghi. Best lap for them, 129.51. Into the final period of the race then, scheduled for 190 kilometers or 1 hour, and clearly it will be the latter. 170 currently touted as the likely distance to be achieved in the allocated time, in which case another 40 kilometers to go. Jan Hilstad and Bernard Bellman still closing on Highlander. And they're piling on the agony for Polly and Leone. Another place surrendered without a fight. Maybe the Italian pairing are resigned to losing the lot anyway. it's beginning to look that way. And there's yet to be a decision made on the matter of the missed turn mark. But in any case, it had all gone horribly wrong well before that. We're actually looking at the second incident here again, and I'm sure Polly will claim he was confused by the missing mark and was then forced into playing safe with Spirit of Norway so close behind. Well, you decide for yourselves. This is Victory 7, heading for a first win of the season. Youngstown and Curtis, it would seem, happy to settle for second place with Spirit of Norway, dropping back to 153 kilometres an hour on the last lap. And look at this, no such respite for the Australians. Altair and Al-Marie, Victory 77, still peppering their transom. And with the last lap at 160.73 kilometres an hour, are currently almost a kilometre an hour quicker. Third place, the coveted reward for the winner of the duel, with both teams in desperate need of the points. 3 being the difference between third and fourth, and the Australians in particular, having fought to correct the injustice of Lisbon where they were robbed of victory, won't be rushing to give any of the precious commodity away. Oh, and a little moment there that will have drawn a deep breath from the Jotun cockpit as they chase their first points. Not an easy day for anyone. The stiff southwesterly breeze continually feeding the residual swells. The body and the brain exhausted from the continual pounding. Damas 96 holding 6th place, ahead still of Roskilde Hotels. While the real joy is beginning to build at the sharp end. Ali Al-Kamar said before this race, it's a day when Victory Team must win. And while the rest have huffed and puffed with their fast, lightweight technology, sometimes there's nothing better than a good old one. Heavier, longer and smoother. Victory 7 providing the tonic the Dubai team so desperately seek. But no joy again for Jotun. Luck deserts them once more. It's 3 in a row and a season in tatters. Back to the battle for third and down the straight to Drake's Island for the penultimate time. Saeed Altair and Mohammed Al-Marie, Victory 77. Hopes of a first podium finish of the season still the forefront of their minds. Refusing to concede third place as the lost cause. Cutting the corners as tight as they dare and piling up the pressure on the Australians in an attempt to force the error. Mind you, it's difficult to find a harder nut to crack than the Australians. Peter McGrath and Bill Barry-Cotter thrive on fodder such as this. Catching them will be one thing, getting past something completely different. Last lap, average speeds by the way, Victory 77, 156.56 kilometres an hour. Maritimo 160.78, nothing in it. And top speed, by the way, still nearer 200 kilometres an hour, with time beginning to run out for the Dubai 77 team. And evaporated completely, it seems, for Roskilde. That's a pity after coming this far. Long way too, of course, for Victory 7, but a return journey about to be made, much the sweeter by an emphatic result. Victory 7 apply the finishing touches, winning the Jervis Property British Grand Prix to keep alive their dream of winning the title for the first time. Spirit of Norway coming in at a counter for second. There they are, after a full-blooded contest for the most part, until eventually accepting there is no way on this particular day would Ali Al-Kamar and Ahmed Altair step back from their commitment. And in the thick of it, Maritimo, withstanding the late assault from Saeed Altair, almost back to his very best and looking in much better shape for round 4.
It's rough there. You don't see it from down here because it's in the horizon, and I think it must be something like 5 to 6 feet wave, you know. I mean, we are glad to be in the first position.
Crucial win then for the Dubai team, re-railing their championship bandwagon in the nick of time. Good day too for Norway and Australia, but almost a write-off for Italy. And always a good sign, most of the crowd staying behind to celebrate one of the best Class 1 events for years. Three rounds completed, then 5 to go, with Spirit of Norway basking in the sunshine of a 16-point lead. But how different it might have been had they not escaped that major scare on the start straight.
Oslo next. Jartsen on home soil. Always difficult to beat, but never more so than here. The rest had better watch out.